Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Week in Astrology with your friend Gretchen Heidel, full-time astrologer, life coach, Reiki master, and so much more. And I am here live on our Monday night date. On Monday, I go live every Monday night on Facebook on my Astrology Updates by Gretchen Heidel page at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which is East Coast time in the United States. So welcome if you're just joining me live tonight. And go ahead and post below your astrological sign, where you're tuning in from, what area of the world. And if you know your moon and your rising sign, you get extra points. Not really extra points, but you get a big thumbs up for me. So welcome. It is Monday night, August 7th, 2023, and I'm going to be going over this week in astrology all the way until August 13th, 2023. We have a lot of things going on. Astrologically speaking, though, this week is just a little bit of a lighter week, somewhat. We have some things going on, but it's not quite as active and jam-packed as it has been in the last few weeks. Last week, if you remember, we had the big supermoon in Aquarius. So I'm wondering how everybody did with the big supermoon in Aquarius. That was on August 1st. Now, remember, we are going to have two moons in the month of August, two full moons. We're going to have a blue moon, supermoon at the end of August on August 30th. So we're not done with the full moon energy in August yet, but I was wondering how everybody did with the full moon. And then we had the North Node of the Moon square Pluto last week, which, kind of brought some heaviness to the atmosphere. And then we also had Mercury retrograde pre-shadow start, and that's something that's been going on. The pre-shadow period, we are in the zone now for Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is actually going to start officially on August 23rd in Virgo. So on August 3rd, we started the pre-shadow. So we're now getting in that zone where things just start to get a little weird, a little wonky, a little glitchy. And if you see me looking up and down during the broadcast, that's because I always co-record with a separate recording device for YouTube, and then I post the recording on YouTube as well. So I do have YouTube specific content now. Yay! I've been threatening to do that for a while. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go ahead and do that under Gretchen Heidel. I'm the only Gretchen Heidel on there, so it's very easy to find me. Oh, great. We have a lot of people commenting. Melinda, hello. Capricorn Sun. Cancer moon, Scorpio rising, love that, from Vermont, welcome. Wendy, also from Vermont, Aquarius, and Leo rising, awesome, Wendy. Andrea, yay, you're catching me live tonight. Aries sun, Gemini moon, Cancer rising, also in Vermont. Adriana, Michigan, I love that. Virgo sun, we're talking about Virgo somewhat tonight. And Juliet, welcome. Oh, Juliet, thank you. Yay, I got my first stars of the evening. Juliet, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Stars, by the way, during the broadcast are basically a way of giving like a little bit of a tip or whatever. It's a nice gesture. So thank you, Juliet. I appreciate that. Me only Ella from Iowa, Aquarius, welcome. I love that everybody is joining me here tonight live. So we have a bit of energy going on. I'm wondering how everybody was doing from last week. There was some heavy energy a little bit last week. I started to see that somewhat in my sessions, just like some heaviness, some shadowy stuff. That's all that Pluto squaring the North Node of the Moon and kind of making us feel like, what do I want to be when I grow up? And then we had that intense full moon. That was a pretty intense full moon, the super moon on August 1st. So I don't know if anybody out there felt any of that. We have a few Aquariuses on here. So that was in Aquarius, that last full moon, super moon. So this week we have some things going down, but not quite as busy and active, which is good. Some of it took place today on Monday, so I'll go over just kind of what happened today. briefly. I mean, it's already kind of in the rearview mirror, but not quite. There's still something lurking that we are approaching tonight, right after this broadcast. So today on August 7th, Monday, we did have the sun form a lovely sextile with Ceres. The sun is in Leo and Ceres is in Libra. And so that was a wonderful sextile between those two. Astrologically, Ceres, if you remember, is the great mother. So there might have been some nurturing, some mothering, some caretaking, talking about mothers, talking about, daughters, whatever, if you're a parent, or, when you had, if you're thinking about your maternal mom or stepmom or somebody who is like a mom, that's all the mom energy going on for sure. Hi, Pamela. Welcome. You might be from Europe because you put 8/16 in reverse from the United States. So I'm wondering where you're tuning in from. But welcome, Leo. We are in your Leo season, pre-Leo birthday. Welcome, Andrea. Another bunch of stars. I love that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's a wonderful way of supporting the broadcast, and I appreciate all of your stars. That's wonderful. So the sun's sextile Ceres creates mom energy. A lot of modern astrologers feel that Ceres might actually be the natural ruler of Taurus. So to any Tauruses out there, you guys probably know that your ruling planet, every single astrological sign has a planet that's the ruling planet. That's the planet that is like the engine in the car. It fires us up. The ruling planet kind of activates us and gets us going. And a lot of modern astrologers feel that the ruling planet for Taurus is actually Ceres, not Venus, because as we've discovered more and more planets in the solar system, and this is Ceres is a planetoid, just like Pluto, just so that you guys know. And so they used to classify Ceres as an asteroid, but she's like really big. So now she's a planetoid, so she's like a mini planet. But now they're saying a lot of modern astrologers feel so Ceres does have sort of a flavor of Taurus. So if you think about Ceres, because a lot of people are like, wait, what is this? What planet are you talking about? It's Ceres, Ceres, and she is basically the great mom, the ruler of the moms here. So yeah, so it's a thing. Andrea said, yes, my mom is a Taurus, a mom energy for sure. Yeah, there's been a lot. Adriana, oh, you made it. Welcome. And she said, my YouTube videos were dead on. That's awesome. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And thank you so much if you already have. You guys are amazing and awesome. So we had some mom energy going in from yesterday into today. Again, the peak of it, the height of it, the pinnacle of it was 8:38 a.m. Eastern time. But it's funny. I got my hair done today, and actually I was talking the whole time I was in with my hairdresser. We were talking about our moms. So it was just, and I didn't even put two and two together until I was like looking at my calendar to do the broadcast. And I was like, oh, that's right, Ceres is activated today. So it's mom energy for sure. Mothering, maternal, you being a mom or you having a mom, or something about moms is all about that. Now the other thing, and I just said that there is something lurking later on in the evening tonight, and that's coming still. We haven't even reached the peak or the pinnacle of it today. Is Venus retrograde is going to form a conjunction with Lilith, Black Moon Lilith in Leo. Now, whoo, so that peak of it, the height of it, and these times are Eastern time. A lot of people don't know what Eastern time means. That's East Coast United States, New York time. And so it's 10:42 p.m. Eastern time. So earlier than that, like 7:42 p.m. if you're out on the West Coast. And basically that's what the deal is. Venus and Lilith coming together right on top of each other, conjunct. And so Black Moon Lilith and Venus being together is very similar to Venus being conjunct Pluto. That can bring up jealousies, that can bring up insecurities, that can bring up shadow stuff. And it can also positively bring up a lot of passion and sort of, kind of kind of va 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 voom, and that is in fiery Leo. And Venus is retrograde right now. I mentioned this, if you guys, I keep referencing my special video that I did on YouTube because it's still relevant now. Venus is going to be retrograde all the way until September 3rd. And I did a whole special video just dedicated to Venus retrograde. And the fun thing is you can fast forward and even look to what your astrological sign will be. So do it after this video is over, but it's pretty fun. Debbie, hello, Aries in Florida. Love that. Almir, Taurus from Vermont. Welcome, welcome. And we are talking about Venus retrograde being conjunct Lilith. And I mentioned that on that video. I went into great detail about that on that video about what this brings. But it's coming to a height tonight, so we're going to be feeling it, Saturday, Sunday. Today is the peak of it, 10:42 p.m., and then even tomorrow and maybe Wednesday, but it's starting to sort of dissipate. After these get to their peak or their height, if you think about this, it's very much like climbing a mountain, like you go up the mountain, you get to the pinnacle, and then when you come down, descending off of the mountain is typically easier than ascending, going up the mountain. So this is one of those things that that we have going on with Lilith conjunct Venus, and it's very intense in our love life. It could be intense in our financial life. And if you've been watching me regularly, and by the way, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, get it rolling in the algorithm so that we can get some attention here. Because, and here's the cool thing, if you have a friend that you think might be interested, go ahead and tag below, do the @ sign, and then type their name in and tag them in the comments because they might want to know about it. Lilith is dark. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, Lilith is dark, and she can just have us have this wash over. And it's interesting because I felt this also today. It wasn't bad. It was just like this washing over of Lilith is dark, and she can bring about some mucky, sticky energy. It's like you might be totally feeling very confident and really good about your finances or love life or even your creativity, because remember, Venus is our creative endeavors. And if you are a professional creator, somebody who does creativity for a profession, all of a sudden you could be feeling really confident, and Lilith walks into the room and all of a sudden it's like, meh, meh. Like we just start to feel like not as spunky and full of optimism and all this kind of stuff. And that's basically Lilith, she can bring about. So don't take her too seriously. I always tell people, if you can, just know it's her. Be like, hey, Lilith, what's up? And then just kind of go your way. Try not to feed into. Now, obviously, if you have an already really volatile situation in a relationship, let's say, and there's all kinds of stuff, for sure she can bring something forward, a shadowy thing that we want to confront and we want to sort of address. But if everything was going fine and the sun was shining and you felt really good and you just feel momentarily dark, I would say don't even address that with your partner. Don't even feed into it. It's because it's her. That's just how she is. She can make us feel a little bit dark and a little bit cup is half empty instead of half full. Now, the other thing that's also happening tonight, going overnight from tonight into tomorrow. Hello, Rita, freezing in Colorado. Holly, welcome. Libra Sun. Kirsten, love that. Capricorn in Vermont. Wendy, thank you so much for sending Rita healing energy. She had a procedure last week, a surgical procedure, and so if everybody can send her some good positive energy, she's healing, and she's said she's feeling better. You can put an update there, Rita, if you want, on the comments, but she said she's been feeling better, so that's great. Okay, so going over from tonight into tomorrow, between August 7th and August 8th. Now, August 8th, a lot of people talk about is the Lionsgate portal. 8/8 is the Lionsgate portal. That is said to be when the sun aligns with Sirius, that they kind of come into, and there's a whole thing with pyramids, and it's considered to be in metaphysical energy, a portal, a time that's good for manifestation, a time that's good to bring in healing energy, a time in Egypt, that's when the Nile tends to fill up, okay, and then a lot of boats, and it's like harvests and goods and supplies and all that can come into Egypt. So in the ancient times, this was a very celebrated time, the Lion's Gate portal. It's not really so much an astrological thing as more of like a numerology. It's kind of like a combination of numerology, astrology, astronomy, like all kinds of stuff. And so it is something that we like to celebrate. So the thing that is going to be happening, not only is Lilith going to be conjunct Venus in Leo, which is the lion, right? Lion's Gate portal 8/8. Also overnight, or really into tomorrow morning, is going to be the half moon. It's also called the last quarter lunar cycle, the fourth quarter lunar cycle, all kinds of lunar cycle names for this. But it basically, what it means is we're halfway now between the last full moon and the next new moon. So the moon is now waning, meaning that it's getting darker and darker and darker and darker from the full moon to the new moon. And so we're halfway, this is the halfway point, and it literally looks like half of a moon in the sky. And so that's going to be taking place at 15 degrees Taurus. So again, any of you Tauruses out there, or Scorpios, you guys are going to be feeling this. Scorpio would be feeling it through the opposition. Okay, 15 degrees Scorpio. So you guys would be feeling that through the opposition. But basically, this is when the sun squares the moon. Okay, so the sun is in Leo, squaring the moon in Taurus. Now, interestingly enough, and the peak of it, by the way, is tomorrow morning, 8/8 on the Lion's Gate portal, and that's going to be taking place at 6:28 a.m. Eastern time. So really, literally overnight, if you're on the West Coast, it's going to be 3:28 a.m. Eastern time, or if you're somewhere in between, just minus or plus a little bit. And so this is all about, if you're Taurus or if you're Leo, you will definitely be feeling this. Aquariuses and Scorpios will also be feeling this through the oppositions. So all the fixed signs, in other words, will be activated. It's like Wonder Twins activate, you know? And so now we have Leo, which is fancy, and Leo loves luxury, and Leo loves to be razzle dazzle and sparkly. I'm wearing all my sparkles. Actually, I'm wearing my pearls tonight. I was feeling very pearlescent, but even like I got my crystals on and all my sparkle. That's very Leo. But you know, Taurus is very similar to that. Taurus loves luxury too. Taurus likes something sparkly and expensive as well. And so these two signs kind of have to reel it in. I mean, like when they come together, they are square each other, meaning that they have a little challenge going on with each other. And last quarter moons are a little bit more challenging. That's the second chance full moon. Remember how I nicknamed these the second chance full moon, which means, by the way, if you didn't burn or destroy your last new moon manifestation list, burn it tomorrow after the 6:38 a.m. Eastern, or 6:28 a.m. Eastern time. Burn it tomorrow afternoon or whatever. But anyway, this is all about sparkle, razzle dazzle, but we could go way too far when these two get together, like Leo and Taurus. I mean, we're talking about spending money. We're talking about luxury. We're talking about too much food, too much drink, too much. And oh, speaking of too much, remember that right now, Jupiter is in Taurus. So we have the moon going to be conjunct Jupiter in Taurus. So if you are lucky enough to live in an area where it's nice and clear outside, and you can see the moon, right next to the moon, the half moon, which is pretty anyway, I think. I always think the half moons are very pretty. The half moon is going to have a sparkly, looks like a really bright star next to it. That's Jupiter. It's not a star. It's going to be Jupiter. So in the night sky tonight, you're going to see that, or even possibly tomorrow night too, if it's clear where you live, we will see that. So there's going to be a conjunction with the moon and Jupiter. Too much of a good thing. Remember, I always say Jupiter enhances or makes bigger too much of a good thing. Now, second chance full moons are about, we're continuing the work that we started on the last full moon, which means we are purging, we are getting rid of, we are releasing, we are letting go anything that is toxic or outlived its useful life, or something that we want to release and let go. If it's a friendship, if it's a relationship, if it's whatever it is, we have to release it. And so that's what we're doing. And a lot of astrologers call this a crisis point or a crossroads point, because it's something that we're being tested. Like, okay, so we really have to clear and let go, because remember, we can't bring in anything new until we let go of something. So on August 16th is the next new moon. That's not this Wednesday, it's the following Wednesday. And that's going to be a micro new moon in Leo. Okay, so we are just, remember that the farmer sort of clears the field, lets go, so that he can plant, or she can plant new seeds for the new beginning to begin. So that's where we're at with this. So we want to be able to let go. But good news is we might feel, we have some energies like Jupiter is just going to make everything bigger. So if we already feel dark when this sort of thing hits because of stinking Lilith, we might feel a little dark. That will make that bigger too. Or, you know, usually Jupiter is good luck, good fortune, optimism, and expansion. And this is about, are we expanding too quickly? So we might have to reel this back. We might have to sort of, whether this be financially or in love relationships, we might have to reel it back. Like, are we expanding too fast? Are we making too big of strides? I mean, I posted on, I think it was Sunday, I used a quote on one of my astrology posts about dream big so that you can, it's almost like supersize your dreams so that you can like fit into your dream comfortably, something like that. And that's what Jupiter likes to do, likes to make everything bigger. But sometimes we can get just a little too ahead of ourselves or get too big for our britches, and then we have to reel it back. And that's what this last quarter moon could be all about. And again, it's going into tomorrow morning early at 6:28 a.m. or 3:28 a.m. if you're out on the West Coast in the United States, 15 degrees Taurus. So Taurus and Leo, we're going to have a lot of activation there. So we'll get ready for that. And then on August 9th, Venus is active again. So it's interesting because Venus is going to be active in the beginning of this week, Venus retrograde. And remember, it's retrograde, okay? Venus is retrograde. How is everybody doing with this Venus retrograde, by the way? Wendy said it's too cloudy out, but she has tons of projects to complete. Perfect. Rosalie, hello. Capricorn from Vermont. Almir said yes. Rita gave an update on her health. Melinda sending lots of love and good vibes. A lot of people are sending good vibes. That's awesome. I love that. So again, if you like this broadcast, like it below so that we can get rolling here in the algorithm. So getting back to Venus retrograde. So remember, how is everybody doing with Venus retrograde? Any glitches in the love department? Any sort of, because we're reconsidering love stuff. We're reconsidering love. We're figuring out if we're happy with our creative energies. We are also figuring out if we're happy or not with our finances. And so this is about reevaluating things. Remember, that's what we always do during retrogrades, is reevaluate. And remember, I keep talking about this. I've been talking about this, but I will say it again. Starting on August 23rd, going all the way until September 3rd, we have a double header, Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde, both personal planets, and a bunch of planets are retrograde right now. We have Neptune and Saturn and Pluto and all these other planets that are retrograde as well. But we really feel those personal planets. We have a doubleheader personal planet retrograde thing going on. Mercury is going to be retrograde all the way from August 23rd to September 15th. But will overlap with Venus retrograde from August 23rd to September 3rd, because that's when Venus goes direct, is September 3rd. So they're going to be double lapping for 2 weeks. So that'll be even extra retrogradeness. So make sure that you get everything completed or at least started before then. It's not that you have to have everything completed. If anything, if you think about... I meant to say complete, like the starting. You can just do it. Whatever. It's good for when we are in retrogrades. It's good for wrapping things up and for doing homework and for completing projects and all kinds of things like that. But you don't want to start it during the retrogrades. Yay, Rosalie! Thank you so much. Send me some stars. Yay. And Wendy Martin too. Send me some stars. Thank you so much. Love, love, love that. Yes. And she said, when you're single, you just got to love yourself and have a good time. That's right. That's exactly right. So, yeah. So how's everybody else doing? I mean, this is affecting our love relationships. And I meant to say this before on Venus retrograde broadcast, but I always talk about how exes come back during Venus retrograde, right? Well, it's not just exes that want to get back together. It can be exes seeking child support or alimony, or, hey, I needed you to sign this paperwork, or, hey, what's going on? I mean, like sometimes it's exes, but they're coming back for a different reason. It's not necessarily like a love reason. I want to just say that a lot of people get that, sort of, they're like, oh, like that just stirs up people from your past to come back. And so that is a thing when exes, ex-husbands or wives or spouses or whatever can come back at that time too. So what's going on with Venus right now is Venus is conjunct Lilith. Like I said, today is the peak of that. And then on Wednesday, we have Venus also squaring Uranus. Also, Uranus is in Taurus. We have a lot of stressors going on in the Taurus department. I'm just, if you're like really listening, there's some stuff, there's some activity going on in the Taurus department. So Venus square Uranus, I have this one full time in my astrological birth chart, of course. So Venus square Uranus is all about just kind of some weird out there wackadoodle, erratic sort of stuff with love, okay, or finances too. And so it is about thinking outside the box. This one particularly is very good for like flare-ups of like an affair or a tryst or a summer fling or some kind of thing. But usually anything that is started around the Uranus transit, especially when Venus highlights Uranus, it usually isn't lasting. When you're looking for a lasting love partner, you're looking for Saturn. Now, not everybody is looking for a lasting love partner. Some people are just looking for the fling, the tryst, the ooh la la, the little, the little vibes that we can get from that. And that's fine if that's what you're looking for. No judges. This is what and if you're into open relationships, polyamory, if you're into like whatever thing you're into there, as long as there's a consenting adults involved, that is fine. That is like kind of with Uranus, anything goes, so if you're looking for unconventional, outside the box, a unique, different, strange kind of relationship that goes against, the norm of whatever society, that Uranus is your planet. But if you're looking for more of like a solid, steady, sort of more old-fashioned or traditional, you're looking for whenever Venus highlights Saturn. That's really what you're looking for if that's more of your cup of tea. Thank you so much, Holly. Ding ding ding. We have some more stars, and Wendy did some more stars. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. So oh, I'm sorry, Jennifer. Jennifer said, usually I'm always happy and positive, and August has not been good. Yeah, that's because we have a lot of darker energy going on in the backdrop with Pluto and with Lilith. So please hang in there. I mean, I that's why I tell people about these, because I really feel like as if it's when we understand the energy, it's like it can sometimes feel soupy and dark and heavy, and that's kind of what we've been doing since the beginning of August. Like it's lighter astrologically speaking, but there's heavier, there's not as many transits, but they're heavier sort of transits with Lilith and Pluto. So hang in there, because they can both be Debbie Downers in a way. Wendy said her picker is broken. Uranus is your planet. That is the deal. Yeah, I mean, that is the deal. I have Venus in Aquarius, so if anybody out there has that, that's very similar. And the peak or the height of that is coming on Wednesday at 7:08 a.m. Eastern time. So again, earlier than that, 4:08 a.m. Pacific time. And so we're looking for love, maybe in all the wrong places. I don't know, that song that, was many years ago, but yeah, we're looking for strange, different, unique, or interesting. Now, sometimes this can be like somebody who's racially different, religiously different, like whatever thing. But it usually, during Uranus transits, it's usually pretty hard to get something going, that's going to be a long-term sort of committed thing. Now, good news after this on Wednesday, tomorrow, on this week of August 9th, is going to be Mercury in Virgo is going to form a lovely trine with Jupiter in Taurus. And so that is something that these two together, and the peak height of it, this is going to be active all day on Wednesday. So if you have to give a report, write a speech or give a speech or teach something or orate or get ideas, if you have to communicate in any way, shape, or form, in other words, that is what the deal is. Mercury trine Jupiter is great for that. The only caveat, remember, Jupiter makes everything bigger. The only caveat with this is that Jupiter can have us almost having like verbal diarrhea, basically, like constantly just talking and talking and talking. And that is Mercury trine Jupiter on that day on Wednesday as well. There's some stuff going on. But even Jupiter's going to make a very light in the, Mercury is going to make a very light in the background alignment with Pluto on that same day. See, so there's still some heavier connotations, even though normally I'd be like, oh, Mercury and Jupiter, oh, this is fantastic. I would be really excited and jazzed about it. But even in the background, there's a light. It's called a sesquisquare, which is, say that 10 times fast, sesquisquare. There's a sesquisquare behind the scenes going on with Jupiter and Mercury. And that is not as fun, that's not as fun of alignment because Pluto is heavy and then Jupiter is light. So yeah, Mercury's going to align with Pluto. I think I said Jupiter. Mercury's going to align with Pluto and Jupiter, actually. So these two on Wednesday, it's about giving a speech, orating, writing, texting, but we might say too much, or we could have, we might not listen enough. Remember the old-fashioned saying, you're born with 2 ears and just one mouth. Okay, so sometimes we have to just and let the other people talk. You know what I mean? Hey, Jen, welcome. Love you too, honey. I'm glad to see you. Jennifer said, thank you so much. Much love. Thank you. Ella said, yes, June, July, and August have not been the best for you. I'm sorry, relationship wise. Yeah, because of Mercury. I really think because of, I said Mercury, because of Venus retrograde. Venus retrograde, Ella, has been, Venus has a longer shadow period, and so Venus was getting ready and geared up to go retrograde. So I've been talking about this for months. It's going to be in Leo for like an abnormally long time, all the way up to October. So that's a long time for Venus is usually in each sign for 1 month, if that. Sometimes it's like 28 days, 27 days. So for it to be many months like this, like almost half the year in Leo, this is like we're getting extra credit homework in the Leo department. I'll just say that. So that's the beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. There's a jam-packed, it's very busy. There's a lot of alignments going on with Venus retrograde and also Mercury. And we have the second chance full moon. Now, the next time of activity really isn't until more Saturday and Sunday on August 12th and then again on August 13th. And there's going to be a lovely trine. It's kind of considered to be minor, but there's a lovely trine on Saturday, August 12th. And that's going to be between the sun and Leo, going to form a trine. Trines are positive. It means that it's in the same element and it's just lovely. So Sun and Leo trine Chiron in Aries. Leo and Aries are besties, okay? And that's coming to a peak or a height or a pinnacle at 2:14 p.m. Now, Chiron is wonderful for healing. So this is something that if you're needing to heal from something, a physical thing or an emotional thing or a spiritual thing, if you need to heal anything, Saturday is your day. Okay. And really with these two being in fire signs, this is about finding our passion again, finding our mojo again. I mean, some of you have been saying like your mojo's been a little off recently. And we can send Ella a little bit of love. A couple people did. Oh, thank you, Phyllis. Phyllis said I'm glowing. Thank you very much. I have a lot of lights on me right now, so that's probably why. But thank you. I appreciate that. The sun forming a trine with Chiron is all about healing, finding our mojo, finding self-confidence and being confident in ourselves, or finding our passion. I know that a lot of people talk about passion, and passion, you know, I don't know, a lot of people have been saying passion's overrated, but I still like some good passion. I think passion's, why are we now picking on passion? I don't understand. Let's get some passion going here. And so if we've been feeling passionless, you know, I mean, this could help us a little bit. And the peak of it is 2:14 p.m. Eastern time. Again, earlier than that if you're on the West Coast or Mountain Time or whatever. Now, but speaking of passion and speaking of something that's fun, next Sunday, on the 13th, the sun is going to form a conjunction with Venus. This is a really lovely, wonderful alignment, even though Venus is retrograde. The sun is in Leo, Venus is in Leo. They're aligning with each other. Remember, Venus is not considered to be a malefic planet. She's considered to be a beneficial planet. She's just retrograde right now, so she's being a little clunky. But remember, her job is love and money and creativity and all the wonderful sort of things wrapped together. Venus is the goddess of love and beauty. She was Aphrodite, you know, and so in Greek mythology. So she's expansive, and she can be, you know, that's about giving yourself a treat and having luxury and having love and all those types of things. On Sunday the 13th is the peak of it, but remember, it's gonna be active Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the peak, and then even Monday. So next weekend could be quite lovely, going into next weekend after we get through this little patch here in the beginning of the week, which isn't entirely bad. I mean, it just has some heavy connotation in the backdrop. So again, you might want to take that litmus test and say, am I okay? Is everything okay? Yeah, I have food, water, air, shelter. This is good. You know, some people don't have that, you know? So, I mean, being gratitude and having blessings and gifts in our lives, we have to be grateful for that. And by the way, if you're manifesting something new, something positive, like you want to manifest new, good, positive things, then it's something that we have to have a good positive attitude, and nothing beats gratitude. I mean, even if you're struggling, look, I've struggled, everybody struggles. We all have struggles. Whether we talk about them or not, I know a lot of people, I talk a lot to people privately, and they share their woes with me. They share what they're going through with me. And I know a lot of people out there have private struggles they don't share publicly. You know, everything on Instagram and on YouTube and all is like nicey, nice, but behind the scenes, I think everybody's got some struggle. And that's why sometimes when we go through periods of time of struggle, we think we're alone, and it's like, oh my God, you're totally not alone. Like, I know for a fact that you know 5 people in your friend list that are going through the same thing, but they're not saying it out loud because it's something that maybe is taboo, or, you know, whatever, they don't want to publicly share. So having gratitude for the positive and remembering what is working right in your life, what is going well for you, even if it's that you have clean water, you know, or clean air or something, I don't know, something even small that you can be grateful for. There's a flower in your yard or something, you know, that you can have. I love writing the gratitude list, like 3, you know, doing the bullet point 3 gratitudes a day. That's a wonderful thing that you can like focus on. And I especially think that that's very beneficial before bed, because, you know, Wayne Dyer used to say, Dr. Wayne Dyer used to say that whatever you think about right before you fall asleep is what you marinate with, okay, for 8 hours. So, or if you're lucky, 8 hours, right? What are you marinating with? Well, if you do your 3 gratitudes right before bed, then you're thinking about your gratitudes, and that's like something, then you marinate with that, and you have better dreams, you have better sleep quality, things like that. So yes, Juliet said, crazy passion is where it's at. I agree with you 100%. Wendy said passion for life in general is much needed right now. Exactly. Let's not down. Yes. Rita said, thank you. Thankful for her new pacemaker. I love it. You feel blessed. Exactly. Oh, Jennifer, that's lovely. You send mail of gratitude, #old school. Oh, that's pretty cool, Jennifer. I like that. What do you do? Like, if you wouldn't mind, like, expanding on that, what do? Do you mail, like, do you mail people things? Or, like, how does that work? Oh, I'm intrigued, Jennifer. I'm intrigued. You said you mail gratitude, so I like it. Send mail. Wendy said she loves Dr. Wayne Dyer. Yes, he was and still is in spirit amazing teacher. Yeah, so on Sunday and Saturday too, we're gonna have just like much more to be grateful for and much more nicer, gentler, calmer energies, which is beautiful when we're trying to harvest. And that even leads up into next week. With the micro new moon, even though it's micro, we still love it. And that's going to be at 23 degrees Leo coming on August 16th. So if you want to know the next time you're going to write your manifestation list, that is going to be during the micro new moon on August 16th. So yes. Yes, Jen said, Dr. Joe Dispenza says that gratitude gets the body in a cellular state where it can heal 100%. Yeah, a lot of things go right when we can get ourselves, even Heart Math Institute talks about that, if anybody knows about Heart Math Institute, and getting yourself into a state of gratitude and Heart Math. I actually used to do that. I had somebody lent me one of those Heart Math Institute devices where you have to hold the device and you have to think of something that really brings you joy and gets you into a state. And then the meter actually tells you like how your heart's doing. It's fascinating. And so it's hard to get that thing to move, I'll tell you that. And I feel like I can get myself into a pretty good state, and I still had a little trouble getting that thing to move. And it measures your heart coherence and things. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, but that was the exercise. You had to think of something you love to get your heart, in your physical heart, into a coherent state. So, I mean, think about how powerful that is. That's changing your physiology. And it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. So that is it for this week. If anybody has any questions, I'll be taking some questions, and stay to the end of the broadcast because I will be pulling a collective card for the folks watching tonight. But if anybody has any questions for me, anything that you wanted to know, please go ahead and comment below. So I'll just quickly recap that we have the series all about the moms today on Monday the 7th. Also Lilith forming the conjunction with Venus, which is a little heavier. Then tomorrow on Tuesday, we have the second chance full moon, last quarter lunar cycle in Taurus, where we're reevaluating something. We're continuing to purge and let go from the last full moon. On Wednesday, we kind of have a little crazy, erratic day. Might be some good, might be some weirds, might be some interesting. We don't know. We're going to have to be open and flexible on Wednesday because there might be some weird stuff going on that day, especially with Venus forming a square with Uranus. And then on next weekend, on Saturday and Sunday, we have some lovely vibes. We have the trine with the sun and Chiron, and then also we have the sun forming its annual conjunction with Venus, which is just so lovely. So I hope that all helps you. Okay. All right, so Jen said you getting any hits about starting to work on a book? Oh dear. I mean, instantly I saw green, which to me means that, Jen, that is healing. I saw green, the color green. By the way, I should say this. The colors of the heart chakra, and we're talking about Venus, and we talked about a lot about Taurus. So Taurus is one of Taurus's beautiful stones is rose quartz, and I also have this aventurine. So these are the heart chakra colors. So if anybody out there is wanting to heal your heart, these are the colors, green and pink, and especially love, self-love. But I was feeling green with you, Jen, which to me, is talking about healing spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. Again, so many people are suffering with ailments, and so many people are suffering with things in their lives. I feel like as if it's something that's needed to talk about. I am getting that right now, and as of late, maybe you've been blocked, maybe you've been kind of frustrated. This is the card of frustration, Jen, that you've been a little bit frustrated. Maybe like you couldn't work on your book, or you didn't have enough time, or you just were like a little scattered or something. But you're getting try again, and you will succeed on your book. And maybe a good technique is to just sit down and write for whatever, 20 minutes a day or something like that, and do some free writing to see what flows out. And oftentimes whatever starts to like kind of, and I'll just use the word hemorrhage in a good way, out of you, the creative force that flows out of you, pours out of you onto the pages, then that would be something. But you're getting magician, which is you have everything you need. You just simply need to do it. That's magician is so affirmative and lovely. And by the way, in this deck, the magician card is 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 is Venus. So we've been talking a lot about Venus. And again, if you guys haven't seen that video, please go over to YouTube when this is done and watch, because that is something going on. So yeah. Oh my goodness. Now everybody's chiming in. So I hope that helps. But you got the magician as the outcome card, which is amazing. Oh, Jennifer, I'm so sorry. Will your broken heart be fixed in August? I mean, come on. Venus is still going to be retrograde until September 3rd. So this is what we're supposed to be doing. And not that we're supposed to be having a broken heart, Jennifer. And somebody else, Ella, said something about having a love thing, we'll say. And so this is about really super duper soul searching as to what we want out of relationships, whether it be, are we accepting too little? Are we demanding too much? I mean, like, so this is all about thinking like, are you, crossing oceans for someone who wouldn't even walk over a puddle for you? Yeah, then that is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to give that up and let that go. Sometimes if we have those trauma bonds, they can be hard to let go of. Those trauma bonds are very hard to let go of. Some people don't know that term. Some people do, but very shorthanded layman's way of saying it is that trauma bond can be oftentimes something that we are stuck in and we're recreating childhood patterns with, and so a little bit of them reminds you of maybe one of your parents. You're trying to solve the problem and, find the love that you never got as a child. That's a trauma bond. So they're very hard to let go of sometimes. And I feel like that could be one of these situations. Let me see. I'm going to pull a card for Jennifer. What does she need to know about her broken heart? We have a couple Jen and Jennifers. I'm answering the one that asked the question about the broken heart. The cards, I can tell you, are feeling very, nothing fell out, but they're feeling very like animated in my hand, Jennifer, which means there's a lot of energy around this. This is one of those situations. Oh, you got it. Yeah, now you got a bunch that fell out. This is one of those situations, Jennifer, that I feel like, yes, you like this person. Yes, they are special to you. Yes, you have had, you're getting like a stop and a start here. This is the World card. World means it's kind of like came to its full circle, but when there's a door closed, there's a window open. Don't stare at the closed door too long because there's another window that opened, I don't know. I get the feeling that, Jennifer, this is, I almost feel like I could do a whole private session with you, but I just want to say that I feel like this is complicated and multi-leveled. And I feel like you feel this was the love of whatever. And I just don't know about this person. I am feeling like not just you, but a couple of people on this broadcast are like, in the trauma bond soulmate thing, and by the way, my definition of soulmate, if you guys don't know, is very different than Hallmark. I mean, I feel like when we have a soulmate, it's like our souls, yes, are working together, but maybe not better, like you're looking more for the life partner than a soulmate. In my language, that's the language that I used. Let's see. Oh, you got ghosted, Ella. That's terrible. That's terrible. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I hope that helps, Jennifer. I mean, so when I'm answering this question, am I getting vibes that this is going to be resolved? No. And I actually think that there might be a coming back around again. Maybe it's going to be when this double header Mercury and Venus retrograde is going to be happening at the end of the month. They might come back around. But here's my thing. I always say to people, do not, because you're getting communication cards, do not respond to, listen, this is not just for the person asking the question. That's why I always tell people, stay till the end, listen to because sometimes it's something that you might need to hear. I always tell people, because I'm a dating and relationship coach, if someone just texts you like Friday night, midnight, yo, what's up? That is not significant communication. What they should be texting you is, hey, I made a mistake. I cannot believe I messed up like this. I want you back. I would love to take you out, have lunch, have coffee, go for a walk. Something significant. Significant is not, yo, what's up? Or how you doing? Like that's not significant contact. Significant contact is, I messed up and I would like the opportunity to talk to you about that, or to really apologize to you, or to really say, that I don't know what I was thinking. I went a little crazy and I need to talk to you. That's significant contact. Not like this, what are you wearing? It feels good, or just good morning. I mean, or it's nice today. Like that's not significant contact. And if a person is serious, you know how you feel about them? Like wild horses wouldn't stop you from being with them. They should feel the same back, and that should be the same response, because they can do it too. If you can feel that and you would crawl across cut glass to get to them, they should be willing to do that for you. And if they can't even text more than just what's up, that is not the person. So I always tell people as a dating coach, ignore what's up, ignore good morning, or happy birthday. I heard it's your cousin's sister's birthday. That's not significant. So you want to hold out and just like let those go to the delete bin or whatever. Let those go until they'll keep trying, trust me. If they're really serious, they'll keep trying, and they'll keep trying to come up with something more significant until you finally get the text you're looking for, or the contact. Maybe they even call you, okay? And then that would be better. Exactly, Amir said, been there myself. It sucks, but I feel like the universe helped you to avoid down the road, BS down the road. Exactly. Right. So I kind of feel like that's the deal. Ella and Jennifer are kind of going back and forth and like chat with that. But Jennifer, even though you're getting this card of communication, that's my warning to you, my friend. I want you to really get a significant communication, not some BS, like, oh my God, what was I thinking? You were the love of my life and I totally messed up. That's significant. That's a good communication. So I hope that helps both of you, Ella and Jennifer. I hope that helps for both of you. And until you get that, do not settle. No. Remember, Venus retrograde is trying to help us find our self-worth. That's actually what the retrograde's doing. It's not accepting all this crap, basically. That's what the deal is. Yes, Jennifer said sometimes. Yes, you remember. That's good. I love that. Jen in the chat is saying, remember that you told me that sometimes we get our 80% before we get our 100%, and we deserve to be loved completely. Yeah, don't settle for the 80%er. Go for more for the 100%er. Andrea said, yes, you go, Gretchen, with the yes. And Jen said, exactly, we continue to get what we continue to tolerate, by Tony Robbins. Exactly. Yes, Jennifer. So yeah, Don't settle. Amir, I love that. I love that. Never settle. Make them match your energy. Oh, Amir, you get stars for that one, Amir. Yes, make them match your energy. Exactly. If you would cross the ocean for them, then they should cross the ocean for you, period. And if they don't, sometimes we get scared. It's like, well, if I don't text them back or her back, they're going to leave or they're not going to want to be with me. Good. Don't let them let them not be with you, because they're gonna just, their whole relationship, they'll just give you tiny little amounts, and then and those are hard to get out of, those relationships. They really are. Okay, so Venus retrograde, I can tell, in the house. I am going to now pull a collective card, one card, so for everybody, that basically tells us collectively what the energy. I love this. That I promised last time I was going to put this in the chat and I forgot, so I will do it tonight. Moonology Oracle deck. Yes. Jen said, you're not in the right relationship when you start talking yourself into it. Too much worry. You got to get out of there. Exactly. It should feel peaceful and lovely. Yes. Oh my God, Andrea, you have like the best example of this. Like totally, that you literally just crossed oceans to be together, to be with each other. So exactly, don't settle. Yeah. And you know what? I'll just say this. Andrea had said, like, not said, but like a long time ago, you kind of thought that wouldn't be possible, that you couldn't find somebody like that. And see, I told you, stick to your guns and you will literally find somebody that will do that for you. So I love it. I love it. See? All right. What do we need to know this week for the second chance full moon and all this Mercury or Venus retrograde and all this energy with Lilith and Pluto in the backdrop? What do we need to know? What's the best thing we need? Oh, nice. Oh, see? This is beautiful. I'm using the Moonology. It's full moon in Libra, and it's a win-win outcome is in the forecast. So if you think about Libra, right, Venus is the ruler of Libra and also Taurus too. So here we have a win-win. We have the scales. Everything has to be in balance, and that's what these. Even when I'm talking about these relationships, right? Everything has to be in equal balance. Sometimes we can't give to our partner because we're stressed out, or we're like going through a hard time, or you have an ailing child or spouse or something, but it should just be a special occasion. Otherwise, each partner should be really into this with equanimity and respect and fairness and balance and yes, this is cosmic justice. Amir pointed out. Yes, exactly. So this is a good where we're really figuring this stuff out during Venus retrograde. And I love this card. I mean, full moons are a little intense. Remember, it is a full moon card. So full moons are intense. But it means that we need to learn these lessons, because otherwise we'll be stuck. We'll be stuck in like these yucky like situations. So remember, with full moons and the second chance full moon, we need to clear things out and let those things go and release and put a period at the end of our own sentence. Oh goodness, I just had his name in my head and it just went out. There's a famous dating coach who has probably the largest following. It's male, and I can't think of his name off the top of my head. But he always says that sometimes we want closure when we have a breakup or something. We want closure. The closure is somebody walking away from you. That is the closure. Like they rejected you or pushed you away or walked away or blew their chance with you. They blew it. So that is the closure. That you don't need to have a conversation after a conversation and find out why. No. The why is they walked away, and that you saw the back of their head leaving. So that is the closure. That is all you need to know. That's the information. That person had the opportunity of a lifetime to be with you. And you were amazing and special and awesome, and they blew it. That's the closure. So, hope that helps everyone. All right, so if you'd like to have a personalized astrological session with me, feel free to send me a text message or a DM. And I go live every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And also subscribe to YouTube because that really helps. And I have a goal. I have a dream of 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And you guys I know are helping me to do that. Send a video to a friend or something. Ask them to subscribe. It all counts. So thank you everybody. Lots of love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Venus retrograde. We're in the house and we're doing it. Okay.